Steve Gamache with a Chef Knives to Go quick look product video on the Kurouchi Anryu, hopefully I pronounced that decently, Kurouchi Suminagashi Nakiri 165. And that mouthful basically is the maker, and the Kurouchi is the finish on this knife. The Suminagashi refers to the pattern on the Damascus cladding down towards the edge. And Google that a little bit. It's a Japanese paper art. It's kind of an interesting Google search. The core steel on this knife, this line of knives, is the Shirogami or white number 2 carbon steel. The heat treat rating is about 61 plus on these. The construction is supposed to be a stainless steel cladding over the top of that white number 2 core. The weight on this knife is pretty light. It's 144 grams or about 5.1 ounces. And the blade length is about 165, and overall length about 12.1, about 12 inches. The spine at the base, this is a hand-hammered knife, so it's a little thicker right here at the base at 3.8, but then it tapers down quickly and maintains that towards the end of the knife. And the blade height is a reasonably tall Nakiri at 51.2 millimeter. And a lot of these actually, when we talk about height, and I should mention this in some of the other ones I'm going to be doing, is that a lot of the measurements actually are taken over here. Sometimes the heels on these are just slightly ground down a little bit with the shape of the knife. So most of these measurements from Mark actually are kind of in more towards the middle of the knife. And as far as the profile goes, there's your edge profile, a fairly flat profile on this knife. This knife is actually quite thin at the edge. It's got pretty good performance. I'll talk about that in a second. The handle type is just a really nicely done, very good tight fit and finish, smooth line right here at the ferrule, oval rosewood handle. You can see the oval profile there. So it's ambidextrous with a black packawood ferrule. It's just nicely done. Fit and finish on this knife is really nice. The handle is about 3 inches, pretty standard circumference. And as I said, the fit and finish is quite good on this knife. You've got relieved choil neck areas and spine. It's ready to go right out of the box. One comment I would like to make, they have if you can kind of see the shiny coating on there in the lights, but they put a lacquer coating over the entire blade. And at first I was a little concerned that the edge wasn't ground very well, right as far as out-of-the-box sharpness. And what I discovered was that this lacquer coating is just done over the entire blade and covers the edge as well. So in my particular case, I just threw this on an Idaho fine ceramic steel for about 3 or 4 minutes and just worked the edge coating off of that edge, and it was very, very sharp once I did that. So you might want to do a light sharpening on this knife out of the box. You probably need to do that to get that coating off of there. I don't know if that's the case with the other Kurouchi knives from Anryu, but that's the case in this particular one. But I did have a chance to play with this knife, and it just flew through product. It was a very good performing knife. It's quite thin, and I guess I already showed you that, but you can look at it again. It did great on my test with some onions and sweet potatoes and just blew through them pretty. It was quite impressive for the price of this knife. So really good performing knife. The Anryu Kurouchi Suminagashi Nakiri 165.